Alright, let's get something straight. We all need a place to hang our hat, right? A roof over our heads. For a lot of hard-working folks, that dream feels like it's drifting further and further away. Houses cost a fortune. Mortgages look like phone numbers. But what if I told you there's an option out there that gets a bad rap? An option that's often misunderstood, unfairly judged. I'm talking about manufactured homes. Now, before you click away or roll your eyes, hear me out. We're going to dive into this, get our hands a little dirty with the facts, and maybe, just maybe, change a few minds. Because sometimes, the things we dismiss are the very things that deserve a closer look. Manufactured homes are providing affordable, quality housing, but they often don't get the credit they deserve. Instead, they get saddled with outdated stereotypes and a whole lot of misinformation. It's high time we aired out those old notions and looked at what these homes truly offer in the here and now. So stick with me, let's get to it, shall we? When many people hear manufactured home, their minds often conjure up some pretty specific and usually not very flattering images. This stigma, this trailer park whisper, didn't just appear out of thin air. It has roots, and like a lot of stubborn weeds, those roots go back a fair way. It's a perception that's been fed by movies, television shows, and sometimes, unfortunately, by the reality of poorly maintained properties from a bygone era. Back in the day, before stricter regulations came into play, the quality of what were then commonly called mobile homes or trailers could be, shall we say, inconsistent. Some were built well, sure, but others were churned out with less attention to durability and safety. These were often seen as temporary solutions, not permanent residences. And because they were mobile, they sometimes ended up in parks that weren't always the picture of suburban bliss. This created a visual and a narrative that, for many, became the defining image of this type of housing. Understanding this history, this origin of the stigma, is the first step in dismantling it and seeing manufactured homes for what they are today. So we've talked about the old days, the wild west of mobile home construction. But then, something big happened. In 1976, the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development, old Uncle HUD, stepped in and said, "All right, enough of this." They enacted the National Manufactured Housing Construction and Safety Standards Act, or the HUD Code. This wasn't just a suggestion, it was and still is a mandatory federal standard for every single manufactured home built in this country. No exceptions, no cutting corners. This HUD code wasn't messing around. It laid down the law on everything: design, construction, strength, durability, fire resistance, energy efficiency, and even wind resistance. The code covers heating, plumbing, air conditioning, thermal, and electrical systems too. Every aspect of the home's construction is scrutinized to ensure it meets these rigorous national standards. Since 1976, every manufactured home has a special red seal, or a HUD label, attached to it. This label is a big deal. It's proof that the home was inspected during construction and complies with the federal standards. The standards are regularly updated too, keeping pace with new technologies, materials, and safety research. The impact of the HUD code has been massive. Check one, check two, check. Alright, let's talk turkey. Or rather, let's talk cash. One of the biggest and frankly most attractive things about manufactured homes is the price tag. When you stack them up against traditional site-built homes, the difference can be eye-popping. We're often talking about savings of 20 to 35% per square foot, sometimes even more. The primary reason for the lower cost is the efficiency of the construction process. These homes are built in factories, assembly line style. This means materials are bought in bulk, reducing costs. Construction can happen year-round, no weather delays. Labor is more specialized and efficient, and there's way less material waste compared to a traditional construction site. This factory-built approach also means a faster construction timeline. Less time means less labor cost, and it means you get into your new home sooner. Alright, if you haven't stepped inside a new manufactured home recently, you're in for quite a surprise. Forget those cramped cookie-cutter boxes of yesteryear. Today's manufactured homes are a whole different breed. We're talking spacious, open floor plans, vaulted ceilings, and designs that rival and sometimes even surpass what you'd find in many modern site-built houses. The level of customization available is also pretty impressive. You can often choose your own floor plans, finishes, fixtures, and appliances, creating a home that truly reflects your style and needs. Thanks to the HUD code, these homes are engineered for durability and safety. They often use the same or even superior building materials as site-built homes. Because they're built in a controlled factory environment, precision is key. Walls are square, joints are tight, and the whole process is subject to rigorous quality control inspections at multiple stages. Modern manufactured homes can come loaded with all the bells and whistles you'd expect in a contemporary home. The days of basic no-frills boxes are long gone. These are comfortable, stylish, and highly livable homes designed for modern families and individuals. One of the most persistent myths about manufactured homes is that they depreciate in value, like a car driving off the lot. This is a big one, and it scares a lot of potential buyers away. But here's the dirt. It's not entirely true, and it's certainly not the whole story. Like any piece of real estate, the value of a manufactured home is influenced by a whole bunch of factors. To say they always depreciate is an oversimplification, and frankly, it's often just plain incorrect. The biggest factor influencing whether a manufactured home appreciates or depreciates is land. If you own the land your home sits on, you're in a much better position for appreciation. Just like with a site-built home, the land itself is a valuable asset that typically increases in value over time. So, if your manufactured home is permanently affixed to a foundation on land you own, it can, and often does, appreciate right along with the surrounding real estate market. Location, 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 that old real estate mantra applies here too. A well-maintained manufactured home in a desirable, well-managed community or on a nice piece of private land is far more likely to hold its value or even increase. Modern manufactured homes, particularly when paired with land ownership and good upkeep, follow similar market dynamics to site-built homes. So, if manufactured homes have come so far in terms of quality, safety, and design, why does that old negative perception still cling to them like mud on a work boot? Part of it, as we've discussed, is just old habits dying hard. Stereotypes have a long shelf life, especially when they're reinforced by decades of pop culture and a general lack of up-to-date information. Many people simply aren't aware of the HUD code revolution and the advancements in the industry, but there might be more to it than just innocent ignorance. Sometimes these misconceptions are kept alive, perhaps unintentionally or sometimes quite intentionally, by folks who have a vested interest in maintaining the status quo of the traditional housing market. Think about it, if more people realized they could get a high-quality, affordable home through manufactured housing, it could shake things up a bit for those who profit from higher-priced, site-built homes. Consider the traditional real estate industry. Commissions are often based on the sale price of a home. Higher prices mean bigger commissions. Local zoning ordinances too can play a role, sometimes unfairly restricting where manufactured homes can be placed. It's time we started looking at manufactured homes with fresh eyes, folks. We need to see them not through the dusty lens of old stereotypes, but for what they truly are today, a viable, respectable, and often incredibly smart housing solution. The journey from the trailers of the past to the sophisticated HUD code manufactured homes of the present is a story of remarkable progress. This isn't just about finding a cheap place to live, it's about finding a good home. The facts speak for themselves. These homes are built to stringent federal standards, ensuring safety, durability, and energy efficiency. They offer a level of affordability that can make the dream of homeownership a reality for millions who might otherwise be locked out of the market. They are constructed with quality materials in controlled environments, often resulting in a tighter, more resilient structure. And they offer a wide array of designs, features, and customization options that can rival many site-built homes. The evidence is there if we're willing to look at it objectively. Think about the sheer practicality. So, there you have it. We've aired out some dirty laundry, busted some myths, and hopefully shed some new light on the world of manufactured homes. The bottom line is this: these homes deserve a heck of a lot more respect than they often get. They're a testament to American ingenuity and a practical solution to a very real problem, the high cost of housing. If you're in the market for a home or even just dreaming about one, you owe it to yourself to at least consider all the options, and that includes modern manufactured housing. Don't let outdated stereotypes or someone else's uninformed opinion steer you away from what could be a fantastic opportunity. Do your own homework. Visit a modern manufactured home sales center, walk through the models, talk to people who own them, check out online resources from reputable organizations like the Manufactured Housing Institute, MHI, or your state's Manufactured Housing Association. The information is out there, waiting for you to discover it. Arm yourself with facts, not fiction. Manufactured homes are providing quality, affordable living for millions of Americans. Maybe, just maybe, they could do the same for you.